Meditation. Why Ken's wrong. Meditation is one of Ken Wheeler's biggest pet peeves. Find out how the angry photographer uses mistranslation to rationalize his personal distaste for mindfulness and the relaxation response. The practice of meditation seems to be as old as humanity itself. For example, the Jewish mystic Abraham Abularia instructed his followers to be one and special and isolate yourself without any other, and sit in the room or in the attic. Be careful to empty your thoughts from all the vanities of this world. St. Peter of Alcantara taught his followers, from profound meditation and consideration on divine things, there results this affection and sentiment in the will that we call devotion, which then excites us and moves us to all good. In Islam, the Sufi sect also engaged in meditative practices, as described by the mystical poet known as Rumi. Know that my eyes are asleep, my heart is awake, know that my inactive form is in action. Ken Wheeler has a very odd aversion to the practice of meditation. He denies that meditation plays any role in original Greek, Hindu, or Buddhist metaphysical teachings. He even goes so far as to make an analogy between meditation and having a lobotomy. The Theoria Apophase's creator insists that meditation as we know it today played no role in the metaphysical disciplines of the ancient world. We can trace Ken Wheeler's favorite classical sources to refute his suppositions. Since he tends to relate most to the Neoplatonists, let's start with their founder, Plotinus. It was a going forth from the self, a simplifying, a renunciation, a reach toward contact, and at the same time a repose, a meditation towards adjustment. This is the only seeing of what lies within the holies. To look otherwise is to fail. Since we're addressing the Neoplatonists, we may as well consider the source. Plato himself encouraged meditation, writing, "Turning rather toward the main ocean of the beautiful, one may by contemplation on this bring forth in all their splendor many fair fruits of discourse and meditation in a plenteous crop of philosophy." The angry photographer maintains that the word meditation comes from melete, the name of the Greek muse of study. It doesn't. Meditate is Latin, not Greek. It comes from medere, meaning to remedy, just like our word medicate. Medere morphed into meditare and then into meditatio. It has nothing to do with practice or rites or rituals or anything else along those lines. We can move on to Ken Wheeler's other two favorite sources, ancient India's Upanishads and Buddhism's Nikayas. The angry photographer stubbornly contends that neither the Hindu nor the Buddhist tradition entails any form of meditation. Ken Wheeler claims to be a master translator of the ancient Indian language Pali. As such, he claims that the Pali word conventionally translated as meditation, jhana, actually means fire or to burn. The angry photographer goes on to insist that when the Eastern scriptures refer to jhana, they mean a burning away of false ideas and impressions. The revered Buddhist scholar Buddhaghosa explained that the formal root word for jhana is jayati, thought, contemplation, or mindfulness. Debunking these claims about meditation in Eastern metaphysics is even easier than refuting Ken Wheeler's assertions about Plotinus. For example, here's a 4,000-year-old seal from the Indus River Valley civilization that predates even Hinduism. It clearly depicts a person meditating. Here's a passage from the Upanishads, the oldest known religious scriptures on earth. Through the power of meditation, Brahman swells. From that food is born. From food arises life, prana, then mind, the elements, the worlds, and through action, immortality. Here's a verse from the most ancient Buddhist scripture, the Nikayas. Meditate, monks, do not be negligent, or else you will regret it later. This is our instruction to you. Here's how Buddha taught his followers to meditate. A monk sits down, having folded his legs crosswise, straightened his body, and established mindfulness in front of him. Just mindful he breathes in, mindful he breathes out. That doesn't sound like metaphorical language, and it definitely has nothing to do with burning anything. It sounds a lot more like the practical instructions that anyone who's tried mindfulness to trigger the relaxation response will instantly recognize. There's a Buddhist proverb that applies perfectly to Ken Wheeler. It goes like this: meditation and thought is the path to eternity. Talking too much is one path to death. Those who meditate and spend much time thinking never die. Those who do not have faith and speak many empty words, they look dead. As we can see throughout this channel, the angry photographer uses far too many words. Since most of them are either made-up jargon or used incorrectly, he definitely speaks many empty words. As we all know, meditation has played a central role in mysticism, metaphysics, and spirituality in all faith traditions from time immemorial. The angry photographer's statements to the contrary are demonstrably false. It's a pity that Ken Wheeler doesn't support meditation. It seems that taking up mindfulness to induce the relaxation response would do him a world of good in terms of anger management.